Hey there, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how to connect, not fight, connect with investors when you're raising your next fundraising round, even if you feel like you don't have a network or you're more introverted, etc. And be sure to stay to the end where I share with you how to get access to my Fundraising Like a Pro training, where I walk you through the 3 phases of fundraising to help you with your next round and crush it. So fundraising can be one of the most stressful, frustrating, uncertain moments in your startup life. And I know for me, when I was starting off, it was me and my co-founder, Ethan. We were building Flowtown, and we were just like, okay, should we raise, should we not? We were ramen profitable at the time. And we decided to go all in, and we just started cold emailing investors. And unfortunately, or maybe obviously, nobody replied. I mean, I just thought, okay, well, they're an investor, we're a startup, of course they're gonna wanna meet with us. Turns out that's not the way it really works. And luckily we had some really incredible advice. We read a lot of the books, the blog posts, listened to the podcasts, and it was Nivi, who is Naval from AngelList's co-founder, who gave us some incredible advice about how to get introductions, okay? So here's the big idea, and I'm gonna share with you how that has led into not only raising 2 rounds for my last 2 companies, Flowtown and Clarity. Clarity closed my round in 3 days. This process can help you move a lot faster than probably what you may be going through, and make sure there's certainty in the process. But I've also helped over 200 million. I've helped 100 plus of my coaching clients raise over 200 million in funding. And the big idea behind all of that, as I share with you today, is investors don't want to know you, they want to be introduced to you, okay? So they don't want to meet you, they want to be introduced to you, so let's get into it. Step 1, research. So number 1 is you need to know the space that you're in. So if you're building a B2B SaaS product that's got a marketing bend in the MarTech space, then you need to find the investors that have already invested in those kind of technologies. Now, you might be living in, middle America and you don't know any other investors. Well, the good news is you live in a world where they're online. A lot of the lists are available on AngelList, Crunchbase, in the press. And yes, it's going to require some time and energy to actually do that research. But one of the easiest ways is to actually find other companies like yours that have recently raised money, or go on AngelList, see who they raise money from, and start putting that list together. So the first step in connecting with investors is building a targeted list of investors that, and here's one of my filters, one of many, is one, they've written a check in the last 12 months. I can't tell you how often entrepreneurs go and they try to meet with an investor. And the investor's gonna take the meeting because it's his job to, he doesn't want anybody to know that maybe he's ran out of capital, or, he's not interested in your space and he doesn't have the heart to tell you. And it's a big waste of time. So I want you to just really focus on understanding the investors in the space, what space you're in, who likes to invest, what size of check they like to write. If you're like, well, how do I get them to answer that? Just ask them. Hey, I'm just curious. Last time you invested in this company, I was just curious at what level of commitment you were involved at. That's a really soft way of saying, how big of a check do you write? Reason is, if you're trying to put together $1 million round and the person only writes 10K checks, you don't know. That's a whole lot of people that you're gonna have to talk to, but they might only write $1.5 million checks. That happened to me when I was putting my round together for Clarity. And I thought the person wrote like 100K checks. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, we're giving you 500,000 and we're not seeing our allocation. And I was like, well, we're oversubscribed. I don't have room for another 400,000. And he said, well, if you can't make that work, we can't do it because that's the way our structure works. And I had to go and unfortunately ask some other people to not participate, which is horrible if you've ever gone through that process of having somebody, you do all the work to get them in, then you got to go back and tell them that they can't invest. It's kind of crazy. It's a high quality problem, but it doesn't feel good. So you want to ask using that language, do your research, make sure they're writing checks, make sure that you understand what size, and understand who's investing in your space. Number 2, track. You got to track it. You got to track the progress, like a sales process, like a biz dev process, like a recruiting process. On the left side of your spreadsheet or your Trello board or your Pipedrive, whatever tool you want to use, these are the opportunities, the investors. And on the other side is money in the bank, invested, deal closed, okay? So to me, that is the effort. What information do you put in that to track, right? Well, here's what I do, and it's gonna help you with the connect phase, right? Of really trying to reach out and connect with these investors, is you need to understand who they've invested in, their check size, et cetera, and you put all that information. If you can get their email, if you can get their cell number, I want you to collect. I put Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, LinkedIn accounts. Why? Because if we decide to move forward and they're part of the round, I want to be able to quickly communicate with them. I want to be able to, what I've learned is some investors love Twitter. Some investors are on Facebook. Some investors are on LinkedIn. And yes, you might send an email, as you're going through due diligence or some kind of fundraising docs. The email's not getting replied to. Well, if you're already doing the research on the investors, write it down, put it in the spreadsheet, put it in your CRM, put it wherever you're tracking it. But the key is you got to track it. So if somebody comes to me and they say, yeah, we're raising around and we'd love your help, because that's what, I'm a coach. I'm not a fundraiser. Do not reach out to me to help you raise around. But if you want my strategies and processes, et cetera, I'm totally cool with that. And I ask you to show me your spreadsheet and you don't have one or you don't have a CRM, then I know you're not that serious, because to me, you wouldn't do that for recruiting, you wouldn't do that for your sales process, and you definitely don't want to not do it. I think that's a double negative. Regardless, that's the way it works. You want to make sure you're doing it for your fundraising process. Number 3, connect. So here's the key. This is the way to do it. And I'll tell you, even when you've successfully raised in the past, like I have, I don't avoid this step. I respect it. I had one of my friends, really successful entrepreneur, sold his company, was raising his round for his next startup, and he was just going to go direct to all these investors. Some of them he kind of knew, some of them he didn't know, and I was like, don't disobey the rule of how investors want to get to know you. They want to be introduced to you. They do not want to meet you, okay? So the way you connect is, if you have your list of research of the investors and you know who they recently raised money from, I want you to reach out to them. I don't know their email address. Yes, you do. It's firstname@startupcompany.com. It's their first name at theircompany.com. Reach out to them and just say, hey, John, I noticed you recently raised a round of funding for, XYZ product. Incredible. Looks like you had a great round of investors. We've been thinking of raising a round. I would really love your advice. Here's who we are. And then I call these bullets of credibility, like show them traction, da-da-da. Do you have 7 minutes to get on a quick call to kind of walk through where we're at and see if we're ready to raise a round of funding? All entrepreneurs had somebody show up in their world to give them advice on how to raise, so they're more than eager. Well, not super eager, but it's almost like they have to do it. That's why I put together the training. That's why I've probably helped. I say 100, it's way more than that, of just because I've given talks at events on this topic. But it's almost like it's you. Once you learn it, you got to give it back. Okay, so if you reach out to 2 or 3 entrepreneurs that have raised rounds recently with that kind of language in your email, short, concise, really focused, not asking too much, they will get on a call with you. Now, here's the deal. On that call, treat it like an investor call. They're going to say, oh, well, how'd you get started? Have a really good origin story. Have a really good product story. Have a good traction story. Have all your answers ready to go. And just say, hey, what do you think? Should we raise? And look, it's funny because in the 3 phases of fundraising, the first phase is pre-marketing, which is this weird thing where you got to pretend like you're not looking to raise because you want to get advice, but that's just the way the world works, right? Like, ask for advice, get money twice. Ask for money, get advice, okay? That's a Pitbull line, actually. It was in one of his songs. And I digress. Make sure that you go after the entrepreneurs that recently raised money from those investors. Because here's what happens. After that 7-minute that turns into 15 or 30-minute conversation, they're going to say, wow, this is really interesting. How can I be helpful? This is your in. This is where, if you're in fundraising mode, you can say, hey, I noticed Mark invested in your company and we really like his background because of these reasons. Would you mind making an introduction, right? If you're not fundraising, you say, well, here's the deal. If we decide to move forward and fundraise, I'll be sure to circle back. I would love some introductions because I noticed that this person and this person was investor. Don't go for the most notable. Ashton Kutcher invested in the round, or Mark Cuban. Don't ask for those ones. Ask for the real investors, the strategic people that you know it's their profession to do. And not that those, now I'm going to get in trouble because Mark Cuban invested in my last company. just don't ask for super notable people because it might turn them off, right? Like do your research, look educated, and ask for the right people. And the key is, and these are some of the tips, is one, if they say, yeah, I'll make an introduction, say, okay, cool. I have an email that I've already put together to help make it easy. I'll send it over. Feel free to edit and send over the introduction. And you write that email. It's one line of who you are, what you guys are doing, 3 bullets of awesomeness. You want to go 4. So this is press, traction, team, customers, etc. So just like awesome stuff. And just send it to them because all founders, including myself, we're busy. We would love to make introductions all day long to support other people's dreams and goals, but unfortunately we have our own. And if you make it easy for us, then we have no problem, copying, editing some stuff. Just met them, had a great call. They're incredible. I think you really like it. Hit send. The introduction is made. So that is how the process works: is you go through the entrepreneur, get in a call with them, get them involved, offer for the intro, ask for the intro, write the email. It sounds long and convoluted, but if you want to close your round, on average, my clients do it in about 90 days, meaning from pre-marketing to money in the bank in 90 days. If you want to take the long route and be out in the market for 6, 9, 12 months, 16 months trying to close your round, here's what I know. It's like fruit. Over time, it goes bad. So if you're trying to raise a round and I don't see you, and 12 months later, you're still trying to put that round together, even if I have no understanding of what you do or how you do it, it sends a bad signal because it means you've been, A, you don't know how to get stuff done. B, you're probably talking to people and they don't like it, so they're passing, and you're trying to find anybody that's willing to write you a check. So you kind of come off as desperate. So don't do that. Follow this process, and that is how you can reach out, research, and connect with the best investors in the world to be supportive in your round of funding. So the 3 steps to connect with investors when you're fundraising, even if you're a bit of an introvert and you're nervous about it. Number 1, do the research, know who the people are. Number 2, track it in a spreadsheet, manage it like a pipeline. Number 3, connect, get the introductions from other entrepreneurs. That will get you 100% of a meeting because the investor knows and they trust that person. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want to share with you my Fundraising Like a Pro training. You can click the link below to get access to that. But this is based on what Travis Kalanick, the founder of Uber, taught me. He was an investor and formal advisor to my startup, Flowtown. And literally, if you can just look, I think it was like billions of dollars fundraised for Uber. He is one of the world's best. He taught me everything I know. I've dissected all those steps. I think there's like 10 of them, and I go through them in that training. So you click the link to get access to that. And if you like this video, I would ask that you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what aspect or what tip or insight was the most important or resonated the most with you. And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next Monday. Do you want to give me money? Do you want to give me money now?